Hello everyone, today I'll be doing an overview of Infectum 1.3, which I just recently updated. So I have a few new updates, things in here, and first let's start with the enemies, the new ones. The first enemy on my list is the Walking Blob. The Walking Blob still has a texture issue but will be fixed in the future. It runs towards a player and upon contact explodes with an explosion power of 1. It is spawned by the Overlord, which will be explained later. Next, let's move on to the Hiver. This one is my personal favorite. Let's put it down. Right away you can see that it's a huge slugger-like creature and has the same abilities as a slugger. It still can spread infection, and when hit, spews out even more mobs. This one is a late game creature and I might change some of its abilities in the future. However, when killed, it bursts into lots more mobs and a small explosion. Next on our list is the Leaper. The Leaper is a spider-like creature, as seen here, and loves to leap toward players. It has 2 hooked claws, which it uses to do melee damage to the player. Other than that, it also has a ranged poison attack, which is seen here. The poison inflicts poison 3 for 3 seconds. This is best hit when it's on the ground. Its drops are the Leaper Claw, which can be used to craft a weapon. The last new mob on my list would be the big boss, the Overlord. Just look at this boy. Man, I spent so long modeling it. This was my take on the Parasites mod's Dreadnought. So let's go fight it. It has much different abilities. Upon seeing the player, it will immediately charge towards them, waving its tentacles. It can shoot bombs, which explode into walking bombs. These can cause lots of damage to the landscape, so it's best fight this in a pre-built arena. There's some issue with the particle and one of its attacks, which is to dash forwards, and it works sometimes. I'll try to fix that in the future. This boss is really hard to fight. In full netherite armor, and I'm also using enchanted golden apples and a netherite sword. It has 300 health and 5 defense points. It can also spawn enemies like seen here. It can spawn leapers, buzzers, and small infectoids. So now we have the new items, which are Infectious Spear, Infectious Blade, and Infectious Staff. Let me show you them one by one. Here's the spear, the sword, and the staff. First, let's start with the spear. It does around 16 attack damage and has not a very fast attack cooldown, but it's still pretty good for its damage. It can two-shot an armored zombie type like a husk. Next, let's move on to the sword. This does a whopping 26 damage, but has a very long attack cooldown, so this is good for one-on-ones. Lastly, here is the staff. The staff uses XP and then turns it into mini explosions. It's great for crowd control, as demonstrated here. Next, I will be showing you the recipes. We have the Infectious Blade, which is small fang, Leaper Claw, medium fang, and a large fang, which is dropped from the Queen, then which gets you the Infectious Blade. Next is the Spear, which is a stick, a trident, a Leaper Claw, and 2 medium fangs. Finally, we have the Staff, which is a stick, a trident, and 2 medium fangs again, but instead of the Leaper Claw, we have the Watcher Eye, which is dropped from Watchers. As a side note, I need to mention that these 3 items, the blade, the spear, and the staff, only have 64 users. Next, I'll be moving on to the new effect. Here, sometimes when walking on infected blocks, you can get the infection effect, which lasts for around 50 seconds. It's random like poison, so you could be walking around doing your other stuff, and suddenly you might randomly take damage, as you may not notice the little thing in the corner. Sometimes when you walk, you randomly take damage, just like that. It's completely random, as every tick when you have the effect, there is a 0.1 chance of you getting damaged. Next up on the list is the new armor that I have added. It's crafted from infectious hide, which is dropped from every infectoid except for buzzers and small infectoids. Absolutely dripping. So this armor gives you invisibility, which decreases the mob detection range by 30%. It also further decreases when you are sneaking, just the invisibility. Lastly, I would like to explain some new features. First of all, when you go to sleep, it will add 50 points. To reach phase 1, which small infectoids spawn naturally, you will need 100 points. To get rid of these points, 50 points, you will require a pure shard, which is crafted from 1 bone meal, 1 emerald and 1 cobblestone. There it reduces your points by 50. Lastly, I have a new small grass-like block or plant which will slowly grow over time into a bush. Next is mob spawning. When a small infectoid kills an animal, for example a chicken, it evolves into a bloat infectoid, which then spawns a leaper. But however, when a slugger kills an animal, it spawns a hiver. Lastly, I would like to have some final notes. First, I would not like the infection to start by using the meteor and instead slowly progress through the phases. The meteor will be used to summon the boss. Thank you for watching.